impact on the world. Thank you so much for being with us. We're glad you are here. During this 21 episode docu-series, we have been on a journey to explore the lives of our true parents who, without a doubt, are my favorite people in the world, simply put. Yesterday, we were touring the Pacific Rim with Kodiak, Kona, Las Vegas. Thank you all for coming on. We had Dr. Kim, Kageyama-san, Reverend Du, Reverend Takami. Thank you very much for suffering in those beautiful locations to patch in live and support the program. Now, if any of you have missed any episode so far, don't feel bad. You can access everything by clicking the button below. You'll have access to all the episodes and a whole bunch of goodies. By now, probably most of us have heard the song, She Stepped Up. It's a great tribute to True Mother, written by Dan Pfefferman. And it's fitting that we sing it to honor her leadership after Father's passing. But in fact, True Mother stepped up the day she was blessed to father, or perhaps even earlier, the day she was born, the first conversations with God as a young girl, committing her life to God and helping the world. From that moment on, nothing has been the same for true parents. Nothing has been the same for True Mother, and nothing has been the same for the world. And the moment that Father passed, the moment that Father ascended to the spirit world, the mantle of fulfilling the providence of God settled on True Mother's shoulders alone. She promised our Heavenly Parent and True Father that she would finish the work that they had begun. True Mother developed her plan as she visited in prayer the places that had been meaningful to True Father. This was a time of remembrance and devotion. Just think, for those of you that have had the fortune to climb the mountain behind Cheongwagung to visit the burial place of our precious True Father, I know that some of you might think in the early hours of the morning, it's a bit of a huff and a puff. But what about our mother? Into her 70s, every day attending Father. Over the last 7 years, 3 of those 7 years at the beginning, Mother just so deeply attending True Father, in prayer, in Jongsang, in every action, every flower that she looked at, she was considering which ones Father liked, remembering conversations that they had, preparing Father's favorite dishes. Today, we're going to revisit that period after Father's passing, when our mother stepped up once again, just as she always has done. She took charge, not in the same way that Father took charge, not in the same way or in any way that anyone else might have expected or thought she would take charge. True Mother in her position is an unprecedented position. And therefore, the work that she is doing is like this brand new flower that we've never seen, never smelled. Such incredible colors, such incredible wisdom, deep heart, and genius leadership of our True Mother, truly anointed by God. Therefore, she stepped up. It's a mother's touch. Please enjoy.
인내라 그럴까? 그는 말은 할 수 없다.
From the external look, or when you just glance at the situation, knowing who is Father, now who Father is, we all know. Then you just, commonly, simply people come to the conclusion, the mother must be a very happy woman. And the mother must be perfect in every way. And, well, she was just, God made it such a way that she was born in perfection, and she doesn't have to any effort, just selected to be in that position, and enjoying to be a mother of the entire universe, and just meeting Father, and such a happy family, and so forth. This is the general description when people see Mother. But on the contrary, there, as much as Father walked the road of cross and tribulation to be ordained in his position, what he is now, Mother also has given incredible and untolerable and unbearable cross to be a mother. And of course, she has not started out of perfection. She must reach out for perfection. The standard is so high. Sometimes she felt that many times it was virtually impossible to reach the goal. The tremendous ordeal, hardship, and the patience, perseverance, and an extraordinary faith was needed to achieve the position in the expectation of God. So when she think of these, surroundings and the path she walked, he just automatically put her in tears, because it just, in time memory, her and hardship, tribulation came back to her mind. So I ask you, Mother said, all of you, let us only talk about our victorious future and a great vision, great days to come. Let us be rejoiced over in tears of joy, for the future days that we are together obtain.
Thank you.
I had long pondered if and when women would fulfill their role as perfected human beings, as fully co-creative and significant members of society, and especially as daughters of God. My husband and I had deep experiences in prayer during the Danbury imprisonment. And we together concluded that it was the time for the liberation of all women, and for me to take a public role to teach and exemplify it. Thus arose a careful creation of the spiritual and physical foundations for what came to be called the Women's Federation for World Peace.
Honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is my hope that all of you who have gathered here will understand this message with a deep heart and an open mind. I sincerely pray that by upholding the will of God, we can all reach the place of God's blessing. May God bless you, your families, and your nation. Большое спасибо.
I crossed the Pacific and stepped onto American soil. Speaking in the 8 largest cities of the U.S., I announced that the era of women was near and what it means for men, women, and God. I planted in their hearts the seeds of female leadership that is necessary to complete the salvation of the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, at the dawn of the completed testament age, the time has come for each family to take up the messianic mission of completing the work of salvation all over the world. After restoring your family, the next step is to restore your tribe, nation, and world. We call this process tribal messiahship. In the completed testament age, the mother's role will be crucial. She must unite her children and her husband and link her family with the true parents. Already, we have sent thousands of tribal Messiah missionaries around the world. Soon, the original ideal of the family will be achieved worldwide. As the world enters the completed testament era, we will live with God again.
That 1992 global speaking tour was by no means a vacation. It covered 113 cities, 24 time zones, venue upon venue, check-in upon check-in, crowd upon crowd, schedule upon schedule, pressure upon pressure. I was speaking on the value and mission of women, the way to peace in the family and world, and the love of Heavenly Parent. This was to open the gates for the world's people who are stranded as lonely orphans, to welcome them into the loving, liberating embrace of true parents. Only when we receive God's blessing in marriage can we leave the orphanage and receive our inheritance as the sons and daughters of God who enjoy true happiness. Standing before True Father's holy body in 2012, I promised, in tears, by the end of my days, I will absolutely bring about the settlement of Chunoguk on this earth. Whenever the opportunity arises, I repeat these words. After True Father's ascension, I set forth like a female Don Quixote, spreading our teachings and embracing the world. I have lived every day with my promise to Father Moon in mind.
경외하옵는 하늘 부모님, 만왕의 왕이신 천지인
The King
참 부모님,
of King, the true parents of heaven, earth, and humankind, the King of peace,
성은이 만극 하나이다. 하늘 부모님께 고하노니
I pray to the heavenly parents
국호를 천일국으로 정하였으며
that He has to set
국화는
God's nation as a
장미와
Chanuguk,
백합으로, 국조는 학으로
and the symbol as the crane,
국기를
and the
천일
Chanuguk flag,
국가를
and the Chanuguk nation.
하늘 앞에 공정
I offer them to the heavenly parents.
오늘
Today,
2013년
on 2013, January 13, by the heavenly calendar,
천일국 원년을
and
선포합니다.
I proclaim the first year of Chanuguk.
역사적인 천일국이 천상천하에 선포되었습니다.
The historic proclamation of Chanilguk has been made to all of heaven and earth.
천일국을 선포해 주신 하늘 부모님과 천지인 참부모님께 뜨거운 감사의 박수를 올려주시기 바랍니다.
Brothers and sisters, let us applaud to show.
저희들은 생이 다하는 날까지 이 땅 위에 천일국을 정착시키겠습니다.
사랑하는 아버님, 그리운 아버님, 언제나 함께 하시는 아버님, 아버님께서 천상에 입성하신 지 벌써 7년의 세월이 흘렀습니다. 이 천주에 당신께서 흘리신 땀과 눈물이 배어있지 않은 것이 없습니다. 오늘따라 아버님이 더욱 그립습니다. 아버님께서는 성화하시기 1년 전 90세를 훌쩍 넘긴 연세에도 8차례 넘게 미국을 왕래하셨지요. 건강은 전혀 돌보지 않으시고 오직 세계와 인류를 위해 일하셨습니다. 엄마, 이 일을 끝내고 한가해지면 그때 우리 조금 쉽시다 라고 하시던 말씀은 끝내 지상에서는 이루어지지 않았습니다. 밤낮을 쉬지 않고 일하신 당신, 저 또한 그런 아버님을 모시고 생활하며 일평생 3시간 이상을 자본 적이 없었네요. 2012년 뜨거운 여름, 마지막 병원에 입원하실 때도 아버님께서는 아직 할 일이 많은데 병원에서 시간만 보내면 어떡하노 하시며 오히려 입원을 권유한 사람들을 나무라셨지요. 아직 할 일이 많이 남으셨기 때문이었습니다. 그리고 서둘러 천정궁으로 돌아오셔서는 엄마, 오늘은 엄마하고 겸상을 하고 싶네 라고 하셨지요. 그때 주변 식구들은 참으로 의아해했습니다. 항상 저와 함께 앉아 식사를 하셨었거든요. 그날 점심상을 받으신 아버님께서는 수저를 들 생각은 하지도 않으시고 제 얼굴만 많이 바라보셨습니다. 아마도 아버님께서는 마음속에 제 얼굴을 새기시는 것 같았습니다. 저는 미소를 지으며 아버님 손에 수저를 쥐어드리고 반찬을 올려드리고는 드시는 모습을 하염없이 바라보았습니다. 저도 아버님의 얼굴을 가슴에 새기고 싶었습니다. 유난히도 볕이 강했던 날, 아버님께서는 한 키가 넘는 산소통을 대동하고 따가운 햇볕을 받으며 청평호수와 청심중고등학교를 시작으로 청평단지를 두루 둘러보셨지요. 그리고 천정궁으로 돌아오시어 하늘이여 축복하소서, 끝을 맺게 허락해 주시기를 부탁드립니다 라는 기도 후 녹음기를 가져오라 하시고 복귀 섭리의 사명을 다 이루었다라는 마지막 기도를 저와 함께 올리셨습니다. 그리고 엄마 고마워요, 엄마 잘 부탁해. 아버님께서는 힘겨워하시면서도 너무 미안하고 정말 고맙다고 연이어 말씀하셨습니다. 저는 아버님의 손을 더욱 굳게 잡으며 다정한 말과 눈빛으로 안심시켜 드렸지요. 아무 걱정하지 마세요. 아버님께서는 그렇게 하늘 부모님 품에 안기셨습니다. 그리고 천성산 본향원에 잠드셨습니다. 아버님 성화 후 새벽이면 저는 본향원에 올랐습니다. 가을이 되면 폭풍이 몰아치고 겨울이 되면 한방눈이 쏟아져 쉬어야 할 이유와 핑계는 참으로 많았지만 어김없이 새벽이면 본향원에 올랐습니다. 성화 후 40일 동안 아침 저녁으로 상식을 올렸고 아버님이 그리울 때면 수없이 본향원을 오르내리며 아버님과 많은 이야기를 나누었지요. 그렇게 해서 아버님의 생각이 제 생각이 되었고 제 생각이 아버님의 생각이 되었습니다. 햇볕이 따스한 날, 바람이 부는 날, 갑작스레 천둥 번개가 치고 장대비가 쏟아지는 날, 한방눈이 하늘을 새하얗게 덮던 날, 그럼에도 저는 아버님 성화 후 1095일 동안 한 번도 심요를 거르지 않았습니다. 그리고 1970년대 아버님께서 걸으셨던 미국 라스베가스에서 뉴욕까지 5,600km를 횡단했고 아버님과 함께 올랐던 알프스 산맥의 12봉우리에 올랐습니다. 그리고 당신과 약속했던 초창기 교회로 돌아가 신령과 진리로 교회를 부흥시키겠다고 다짐했습니다. 성화 3주년, 저는 이제 아버님께서는 그동안 외로우셨던 하늘 부모님을 위로해 드리시고 성령의 대상으로 자유로워지시기를 간구했습니다. 그리고 아버님을 위해, 하늘 부모님을 위해 2020년까지 7개국 국가 복귀를 승리할 것을 결의했습니다. 동에서 서로, 남에서 북으로 저는 쉴 새 없이 세상을 품으러 다녔습니다. 입안이 헐고 다리가 붓고 서 있을 수조차 없는 어려움이 있었지만 저는 쉴 수가 없었습니다. 아버님과의 약속, 아무리 뜻이 힘들어도 내 대에서 끝을 보겠다는 그 약속을 지키기 위해서였습니다. 기필코 제가 이루어드리겠다. 그것을 위해서 저는 변하지 않을 것이다 라며 수없이 다짐하며 살아왔습니다. 당신이 사무치게 그리울 때면 달을 벗삼아 대화하며 아버님의 성체를 앞에 두고 제가 했던 약속, 생이 다하는 날까지 천일국을 이 땅에 정착시키겠다는 그 결의를 되뇌이며 살아왔습니다. 그렇게 살다 보니 아버님 벌써 성화 7주년이 되었습니다. 아버님은 아시지요? 아버님 성화 이후에는 참으로 형언할 수 없어 나만 나이다 하는 입장이었습니다. 황막한 사막에 모래 태풍이 불어오는데 눈을 뜰 수 없는 환경에서 작은 바늘 하나를 찾아야만 하는 심정이었습니다. 하지만 아버님, 저는 찾았습니다. 찾아야만 했습니다. 2020년까지 7개국을 반드시 복귀하겠다는 저의 결의는 모든 축복 가정을 신종종 메시아로서 천보에 입적해 하겠다는 저의 결의는 아버님을 위한 제 선물입니다. 이 선물이 하늘 부모님에 대한 당신의 효정의 삶이 온누리의 희망의 빛이 되기를 기도합니다. 아버님 사랑합니다. 아버님 사랑합니다. 사랑합니다.
It's been raining a lot and the path will be slippery, my assistant informed me. Why don't you just rest today? Of course, she was concerned for my safety, and I thanked her, but I continued my preparations. In autumn, we have heavy rainstorms and snowfalls in the winter. There are countless reasons and excuses to stay inside. Regardless, after his passing, I departed my room each day at dawn for prayer at my husband's tomb, and upon returning, I prepared his breakfast and dinner. As I walked along the path up the hill to the Bonhyangwon and back, he and I shared many heart-to-heart conversations. My husband's thoughts became my thoughts, and my thoughts became his. During this 3-year period of devotions, I also retraced my husband's travels throughout the United States, traveling nearly 4,000 miles as my husband had done in 1965, and visited the 12 mountain peaks we had toured in the Swiss Alps to pray and meditate. Through these devotions, our spiritual oneness deepened into eternity.
앉아주세요.
Please be seated.
조용히 자리에 좌정하시겠습니다.
Everyone, please be seated.
여러분들은
All of you are
아버님께
gathered here today.
무슨 말씀을 하고 싶습니까?
What would you like to tell true Father?
나는
I-
이렇게 말하고 싶습니다.
This is what I would like to tell him.
아버님,
Father,
이제 이후로는
from now on,
걱정하지 마십시오.
please do not worry.
저희들이
We will
기필코
absolutely
책임 완수하겠습니다.
complete our responsibility.
그러니
That is why,
아버님께서는
Father,
영원한 본향원에서
in the eternal
그동안
본향원,
외로웠던
until now,
하나님 하늘
God
부모님을
was lonely.
위로하시며
Please
성령의
comfort Heavenly
대상으로
Father, Heavenly Parents. Please liberate God. This is my hope. This is my desire.
그것이
This
우리가
is our responsibility that we can show before the entire world. This is the light of the culture of heart. It is our flag. It is our flower. Please remember this. I hope that all of you can march forward and do your best with the same determination that I have.
네, 감사합니다.
Thank you very much. Let's give another big round of applause to Mother for giving us such a great resolve, for giving us such a great determination.
I vividly recall the pledge I made on the day that my husband passed away. I will revive the church with the spirit and truth we had in the early days. I have kept that promise.
정말로 참 기쁜 날입니다. 성화 3주기에 마지막에 제가 뭐라고 말했습니까? 아버님께 그동안 노고 감사합니다. 이제 지상의 짐은 다 우리에게 맡기시고 영원한 본향원에서 하늘 부모님께 위로와 성령이 되시며 자유로워지시옵소서 했죠?
예.
여러분들도 그런 마음입니까?
예.
오늘 이렇게 3대 경전 마지막 참부모경을 3개 국어로 완성시킨 것 대단히 축하할 일이며 감사한 날입니다. 아버님 성화 이후에 내가 많은 일을 했어. 우리의 남은 길은 성공뿐이야. 내가 환경창조라는 말 했지. 우리의 미래를 위한 2세, 3세 환경도 점점 넓혀져 가고 있어. 지상생활은 우리로서는 귀한 책임을 해야 되는 자리야. 아무 의미 없이 살고 있는 세상 사람들은 이 육신선 생활이 그냥 지나가는 걸로 알 거야. 그렇지만은 우리의 영원한 세계에 있어서 얼마나 많은 축복이 나와 내 가정과 주변에 있게 된다는 것을 여러분들이 실감했으면 좋겠어. 그래서 우리의 사명은 전도를 해서 사람들부터 교육해야 돼. 타락한 인간을 복귀해야 된다는 말이에요. 그래서 우리가 해야 될 일은 전도. 그 다음에 우리 주변을 넓혀서 하늘 부모님께서 전력을 다해서 창조하신 이 아름다운 창조 세계를 잘 보존시켜야 돼. 이 인간의 무지를 일깨워서 환경을 잘 보존해야 돼. 죽어가고 있는 땅과 바다를 살려야 돼. 그 우리가 하지 않으면 안 되지. 지금까지 인류 역사가 노력해왔지만은 이 중심이 되는 이 문제를 풀지 못했기 때문에 하늘로 가는 길이 막혔습니다. 우리가 말하는 천국은 나와 부모와 형제와 가정이 함께 가는 것입니다. 그렇기 때문에 이 문제를 해결해 주시고 갈 길을 열어주신 분이 참 부모입니다. 참 부모. 6천년 동안 하늘과 인류가 고대하던 그리워하던 말이야. 사탄 세계의 혈연을 끊고 참 부모로 말미암아 새롭게 태어나게 되기를 바라는 소망을 갖고 인류는 뭔지 모르지만은 그 방향으로 나온 게 사실이야. 4대 종교들이 말해주고 있지 않나? 참 부모님으로 말미암아 기원절을 맞았고 천일국의 백성으로서 입적이 될 수 있는 자리에 여러분들이 놓였어. 세상 70억이 있지만은 이 놀라운 우주사적인 천주사적인 이 엄청난 비밀을 우리만이 알고 있어. 재림 메시아를 맞아 축복을 받은 축복 가정들의 일대기는 어때야 될까? 처음이자 마지막엔 여러분의 조상의 자리야, 조상의 자리. 그런데 여러분들의 노력 여하에 따라서 황족의 대표가 될 수 있고 명문가가 될 수 있는 자리가 또 돼 있어. 근데 여러분들은 어느 것을 선택할 건가? 행복은 나누면 나눌수록 커진다는 말이 있지. 봄은 생명이 약동하는 희망을 심을 수 있고 꿈을 키울 수 있는 아름다운 계절이에요. 또 아버님께서는 봄을 좋아하셨어요. 봄에 농부가 어떤 준비를 하고 씨를 뿌립니까? 미래에 크고 아름다운 수확을 위해서 온갖 정성을 다해서 땅을 가꾸고 씨를 뿌리죠. 여러분들도 마찬가지예요. 부모님께서는 참사랑 실천이 주고 잊어버리고 또 준다고 말씀하셨어요. 그럴 수밖에 없어요.
During the last 40 days of 2019, despite challenges to my health and sometimes physical exhaustion, I continually traversed the earth. I had pledged to complete this path within my lifetime, and I did not break my promise to you. Political and religious leaders lowered their guard, responded, and embraced each other. People began referring to me as the Mother of Peace.
하늘 부모님을 모시려면 인간 가운데서 승리한 참 부모가 나와서 타락한 인류를 이러한 축복을 통해서 하늘 부모님의 자녀로 낳아주지 않으면은 하늘 부모님께서 함께 하실 수 없습니다. 하늘의 오랜 구원 섭리 역사를 통해서 1943년에 대한반도에서 독생녀 참 어머니가 탄생됨으로 말미암아 1960년에 참 부모가 탄생됐습니다. 이 아프리카 대륙은 대서양 문명권 시대에 하늘 앞에 나중된 자였지만은 참 부모를 통해서 이제 세계에 먼저 된 대륙이 되었습니다.
At this point, I realized that even if the entire sky were paper and all the seas were ink, there would not be enough to record this tearful course. We all overcame physical limits and continued on, even if we felt we might collapse. It was a victorious course through which our hopes and desires were fulfilled. At long last, the era of the heavenly nation and heavenly continent has arrived in providential history. Every nation and continent has its unique path of restoration. The first 7 nations to complete their path did so during the 7-year course after True Father's Holy Ascension in 2012. God recreated these 7 nations as heavenly nations. After True Father's Holy Ascension in 2012, I took upon myself a great responsibility. God led me through difficult circumstances and painful trials. I have now completed the 7-year course seeking the restoration of nations to God's embrace. The final 40-day course at the end of 2019 was a path through a wilderness, uncharted in heaven and on earth. My objective was to settle God's kingdom of Cheonilguk in the worldwide Canaan. This path of restoration history was completed at the Vision 2020 Global Summit in Korea, February 2020, which was a beacon of hope lit on the eve of a global transformation.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. What an incredible story, a moving story. I hope Some of you had some Kleenex handy. I have to do my best to stay dry so I can be present with you. But, you know, even that beautiful video, we could probably make 100 more just on this topic. Thank you, True Mother. So go ahead and continue to offer your heartfelt comments, show your appreciation and love. And in the meantime, how about we get ready to welcome 1, 2, 3 special guests. All right, welcome to the show. We have back with us Dr. Ki-Hoon Kim, the International Vice President of Family Federation for World Peace and the mastermind behind Chosen. We also have Reverend Mari Curry, blessed in 2005, by the way, and her husband and her have been busy building a beautiful, blessed family since then. She just had a beautiful little baby. Rich is taking care of her now. And we also have Pastor Crescentia Degodi, blessed in 2010. Her and her husband, Leighton, also building a beautiful, blessed family. And she's now serving as the district pastor in District 3. Both Reverend Curry and Pastor Degode, new, freshly minted moms. And we thought they could bring, with regard to the mother's touch, they could bring the right voice. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. How are you guys doing?
Hey.
Good.
Thank
Good.
you.
All right. Dr. Kim, I want to start with you. You know, you've been involved in leadership for many, 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 many years. Lots of opportunity to work with true parents, but especially over the last 7 years, I feel with father's ascension and mother taking over, when I look at you, I've worked with you for a few years now, and I recognize, I think you were also specially prepared to step up at this time as a brother, and yet you seem very well suited to this new era of women's leadership, especially the era of True Mother's leadership. And I can see that she has total confidence in you and your style of leadership. Could you share something that you notice about True Mother's leadership style that's unique?
As you know, we call True Mother, Mother of Peace, Mother of Love, Mother of Universe. But I personally call her Mother of Heavenly Love. When she spoke, when she goes to everywhere around the city to city, nation to nation, every paragraph and True Mother express about the love, true parent love, true father's love, true mother's love. So I remember all the time what I see, what I feel. Whenever I see True Mother, I felt abundant God's love. She's not just sharing and speaking about the living for the sake of others, herself practicing God-centered love for the sake of others. The True Parent mentioned so many times their speeches about what is God's love. God's love none other than parental love. So parental love, God-centered parental love is God's love. Yes, true father practiced about this God-centered love all his life. Of course, last 7 years, True Mother as well. Think about True Mother now by herself. She need extra effort practicing heavenly love people can feel from true mother's love, true parent's love. So I feel like it, true mother, extra effort every daily activities. So always, without thinking about the heavenly love, I cannot think about a true mother. So this is your mother. We see these video clips, and we see true mother poem before true father. Love every voice. I can feel true mother's love for the sake of a true father, and for the sake of heavenly parents, for the sake of all our family members.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dr. Kim. What do you think, sisters? Dr. Kim capture?
Yes. Yes.
Mari and Crescentia, I know you also have felt deeply moved and connected to True Mother. Also, I think helped by the timing of your own family life and stepping up into leadership with rearing young children, beautiful children. So for Crescentia, I know when you became the director of the Blessing and Family Ministry, and Mari, you became pastor of the South Florida Church at the time when Mother was really taking the mantle of the movement. And you both felt empowered, especially through True Mother's example. She could be a source of inspiration, comfort, I think, to us all, but I know a new era for women leaders. So Crescentia, you have a great passion for young American people rising up to be true disciples of true parents. Can you share a time when you felt True Mother's words stirred you to commit even more for that cause, standing up for the American youth and young people?
Sure, I'd be happy to. About 5 years ago, True Mother hosted a gathering of leaders from Korea, Japan, and America in her home in Las Vegas. And at one point, she invited all of us, each group, to sing a song. And it was kind of understood, representing the spirit of our nation. So, now we hear Generation of Righteousness a lot. That was sung, we sing it almost every meeting. But back then, we weren't really singing it so often. And that was the song that Dr. Balcom chose, Generation of Righteousness, for us to sing. And I happen to know that song. I grew up with it at the camps that I would go to. So I was way in the back of the room. I mean, this room was packed with the leadership, and Dr. Kim and Dr. Balcom were in the front. And I don't know what came over me. I think probably seeing True Mother, being in the same room as her, feeling her energy and wanting to give energy to her, I pushed my way through the crowd to get to the front, and right in between Dr. Kim and Dr. Balcom, and I just start singing with all my heart, Generation of Righteousness, and just fill it as loud as I could with so much enthusiasm. And of course, the song came to an end, and True Mother was smiling, and she really enjoyed, each of the offerings. And I think she made some comment about, competition. True Mother's always encouraging us, to outdo each other, but in a loving way. Anyway, she had everybody sit down, and there I was, right in front of True Mother. And she began to share with us. And as she shared, I realized that, True Mother's looking right at me as she's sharing. And I distinctly remember that she started to speak about this generation of righteousness and raising up young people in America to be people of integrity that can actually fulfill God's dream. And I realized in this moment, I could give True Mother energy. So I wanted to reassure her, just almost, just shake my head, just let her know, True Mother, we're going to raise up this generation of righteousness. We're going to raise up these young people in America. And it dawned on me that, True Mother speaks differently according to who's in front of her. And when she speaks, it's not just for us to receive it, but actually to respond to it, to give her energy to appreciate what she's saying, and then of course put it into action. So ever since then, it's continued to be a growing passion for me to raise up our young leadership.
you feel like mother's got your back in that sense, right? It's like
absolutely
you're on the right track to want those things because you see mother really investing in that.
yeah.
Thank you, Crescentia. Mari, I know that you've also found True Mother's leadership to be full of hope, encouragement for you as a young woman leader. Can you share with us about that? How you find True Mother's leadership?
Yes, I would be happy to. Throughout my time as a leader, True Mother has continuously been a beacon of hope and support. She always takes the opportunity to patiently educate and guide us to be better leaders. So one time in particular, this was in 2015, I had just become vice president. I was the first 2 weeks on the job. We were in Las Vegas, and a small group of us went there to do some blitz witnessing and to do a lot of outreach at that time. After a week of being there, True Mother called a small group of us into her home to give a report. And I was the one chosen to give a report, which for me was a big deal because I could never even look at True Mother without bursting into tears because I felt just how much she's done for us and really feel she's my savior and she has suffered so much to do so. So there I am giving a report and she asked, did you witness to anyone? Is anyone coming to the event? And I could only say one person. And at the time she said, okay. And then she began to share her heart and trying to gently educate us with saying that it just took one person to make a difference. That just like the Hoover Dam was inspired by one person and that person going to the next step to create this magnificent miracle, we too have that ability to be miracle makers. As long as we unite with true parents and with Heavenly Parent, miracles can happen. She asked us to really be an agent of change, to build our tribes and remember how much true parents have sacrificed in America, and that it is our job to correct all these mistakes that have been made and make it a better place. When she was sharing this to me, I felt that even though there was so much more to be done, that we didn't fully bring the offering that was needed at the time, that there was still hope, that she was saying, you know, I accept this, I receive this, and here's how you can do more and be better. I felt so secure and encouraged and hopeful that there was a way and that I was empowered to do so, that we all were empowered to do so. And she gave us all those tools. And with that, I feel that she's constantly giving us those little tidbits to make us better leaders.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mari. Dr. Kim, I got to ask, you know, I know that you were on many trips with Mother. Of course, we see you here in America with Mother, but you have lots of other opportunities when Mother is overseas. From any time in the last 7 years, is there a memory that comes to you? Do you have one personal, unique story that you'd like to share with us about working with the only begotten daughter over the last few years?
Thank you, Damien. As you heard, you know, this time of year, I send my report to True Mother every other day. So as you know, communication is the best way we share our desire, what we are doing, and after True Mother hear all of this, True Mother send all the time, thank you. So what you have to do this way, some guidance and blessings. So I have thousand letters to True Mother. So if I print this, maybe 500 pages.
It's a big book. It's a good idea.
Why I'm saying this, you know, all the time, True Mother want to hear after event, after rally, what is people's reflection and what is their feedback. You know, last year when we were in Zimbabwe, that South nearby South Africa for blessing, very hot day, very hot day. So through mother's white gown and never stop. She's going and going with her own procedure and doing praise and prayer and giving message. I could feel, even I was just sitting down, I sweat. And how about the true mother's white dress? And never stop. She put all her energy for the sake of Zimbabwe blessing. And after all over, get on the car to the airport and edge sit to mother and asking, what is your reflection today? Of course, I shared, how hot day, but you did it incredible blessing ceremony. I really felt this is related my beginning how I describe true mother because of mother of love, how much you love this country and this continent of Africa, not just on the car. And we sit, our charter airplane, the true mother sitting in front, I am behind. And then before this airplane depart, true mother called me again, sit front of me and share again. And if you have any reflections from America, please share with me.
Sorry, Dr. Kim.
Yes.
Can you say in Korean how she calls you to sit down next to her?
김 회장, come 일로 와요. 일로 와서 계속 보고 해요. Kim, come over here and give continue that you're.
And you're expecting, right? You know well that she's gonna call you because you create.
So this is the heart of a true mother. So I travel many times Africa, and every time a true mother shares so many things internally and externally. So this is really inspired, our African brothers and sisters.
Yeah.
Mother of peace, mother of heavenly love.
Yeah.
So that's my impression. True mother always want to hear our beloved plus central families
response.
Yes, even yesterday, many second chance reflections, this chosen 21 days episode, and many leaders send. So I send. I cannot send everybody's, but certain portion first.
Bit by bit.
Yes, I will prepare after Sunday service, not once. So this is my communication with true mother. True mother, you love America so much. However, American family members love you so much more than any other country.
Yeah, and thank you for always sharing our words. So we have to understand, brothers and sisters, if Dr. Kim comes off stage and goes to the green room or in the car or in the airplane with mother after an event, and if his cell phone is empty, that's Dr. Kim's like a really panicking that's going to be a panicking moment. So he trained all of us, right? All the leaders, right? Yes. Sisters, we're writing our reflection during Mother's live stream, and also Dr. Kim's guidance is very beautiful, because if somebody forgot, if one of the sub-regional leaders forgot to send quickly, Dr. Kim will respond to everybody, say, oh, Reverend John Jackson, his letter was so beautiful, so wonderful, you know. I wonder how everybody else is doing, something like that. But this is, you know, actually, as I've said before, Dr. Kim is famous for this, and Dr. Balcom learned this. So also now in Europe, I think Mother's getting a lot more, you know, love letters from Europe. Crescentia, you know, this idea of Mother's heavenly love, Mother's touch, you know, it reminds me when I was at the breakfast table with Mother in Korea with the sub-regional leaders and Dr. Kim, and we were thinking about going to the ski resort, right? And Dr. Kim, Mother was asking you, where are you going? Oh, Mother, we're thinking of going, you know, we're taking a trip. And then what's her question? What do you imagine she's going to ask? She said, did you bring warm clothes? You know, you're sitting there in this beautiful palatial dining room with the Messiah, the Mother of Peace, the Mother of Heavenly Love. And she's concerned about her children's health and, you know, feeding us, loving us. So, Crescentia, I remember we all got to take a trip with True Mother after Nassau Coliseum in 2018. Everybody worked so hard to bring that victory for True Mother. You also had this experience of going shopping. This is a beautiful example of Mother's touch. Right after the rally, Mother invites us to go shopping. What was that experience like for you?
Honestly, it was unbelievable. It still seems like a dream, except for the fact that I have the clothing, so I know it happened. No, it was truly an incredible experience. True Mother actually took us to, just 4 of us, 4 women. She took us to one of her favorite sections of the store, and she actually hand-picked a jacket for me, and she wanted me to put it on so she could see it. And as she was looking at me, she was smiling, and then she was commenting to Wanju, you know, making some suggestion for other articles of clothing that could go with this jacket. And I really deeply felt, this is my mom. This is my mom. She knows me, she loves me, and I felt she was dressing me for the part that, you know, for the role that she believes in me to be serving in.
Yes.
You know, I'm her daughter, and I'm also a leader that represents True Mother. And she was making sure that, you know, my external appearance reflected that internal state, you know, reflected that spirit that I think she could see in me and that she wants me to grow and develop even more. So it was quite a memorable experience that I won't ever forget.
Beautiful. Mari, I know you were also there on that precious shopping trip. What did you notice? What was your experience?
My experience with True Mother was that she was not just caring for us externally, internally as well. So throughout the clothes picking process that she did, she really took time to know who we were. She chose more matronly clothes for me, while for the rest, she had more fresh and stylish clothing. And I was like, wow, Mother knows who I am. I'm old-fashioned. And she was telling Wanju all the types of things that she should suggest for me. And one of it was a jacket that True Mother was buying for herself as well, because she knows my heart is just, I want to be just like True Mother. And another thing about True Mother during this experience is that she wanted to make sure that we were fed well. So afterwards we had lunch, and it was like a family meal where she was saying, oh, try this. Oh, this is very tasty, try this. And then she would pass a message on the line of, that looks tasty, can I have a taste of that too? And so it was this family dinner where she was revitalizing us physically and internally as well.
That's beautiful. I'm stopping myself from sharing lots of stories about that very same day. And I think that I will save some of those stories for Chosen Series 2, if we make it. Thank you all so much. Wow. You know, Dr. Kim, Pastor Crescentia, Reverend Curry, thank you for contributing to the story of Mother, stepping up with her touch. So come on, guys, let's show some love to the team. What really stood out for you? Thank you so much for coming on the show. And to now wrap up the program, we're going to go to you, our live audience. We're going to see what you have to say in our special comment section. Let's go to that. you.